Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to recent reports, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safer than ever, despite Manchester United losing 3 of their last 4 matches. Obviously, we lost to Aston Villa 1-0 yesterday. It was the first time Aston Villa won at Old Trafford in 12 years. We lost to West Ham in the Carabao Cup 1-0. And we lost to Young Boys the other week in the Champions League 2-1. There is United fans that are Ole out. But Manchester United are behind Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Solskjaer got really good backing in this year's summer transfer window. John Murtough backed him. John Murtough is our director of football, and we made the right decision getting a director of football in, because it's one of the structural changes we needed at the club. Darren Fletcher also backed him, and we made the right decision recommending Darren Fletcher back in. You know, Darren Fletcher knows the club through thick and thin. He endured 2 decades as a player for Man United. And the Glazers, they also backed Solskjaer, but only because they'd been persuaded to. Because back in April, which was towards the end of last season, the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League. And United fans started protesting at the Carrington training ground then. They protested outside Old Trafford, but Solskjaer revealed that the Glazers apologised. The Glazers have been at Man United for 16 years. They purchased the club for 500 million back in 2005. Man United did enjoy a very good summer transfer window this year. We made 4 signings. Brought Tom Heaton in on a free from Aston Villa. Brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund. Brought Rafael Varane in from Real Madrid. And we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. And we spent around 141 million in this year's summer transfer window. In the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year, and we made a mistake giving Solskjaer that new contract, because I can assure he won't see it out. This season is Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager, and I did mention at the start of this season that this season's going to be huge for Solskjaer because he's got big expectations to exceed. Solskjaer has to win a trophy this season to basically save his job. Last weekend Solskjaer did mention that we must leave a legacy of silverware. Ole has not yet won a trophy as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. Solskjaer's ambition for this season is to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. That's 8 years ago now. Like I've said to you, we've got a title winning squad, so there's no more excuses. Solskjaer's running out of excuses. A few weeks ago, Solskjaer told his Man United squad that it's better than the 1999 treble winning team that Ole was part of. Solskjaer is not the long-term manager for Man United, I can assure that. Obviously, there's some Man United fans that want Conte in. It said the other week that Antonio Conte would accept the Man United job if Solskjaer was to be sacked. Conte wants a winning project, so he rejected Arsenal and he rejected Tottenham. Conte's got a good pedigree behind him. You know, Conte has won a lot of trophies in his home nation, and he's managed in the Premier League before. When he was in his first season at Chelsea, he won the Premier League. Conte is available because he left Inter Milan at the end of last season. I think there's some United fans that want Zidane in as well. But Solskjaer is not the man that's going to get us back to the top like I mentioned earlier. Solskjaer has no proven pedigree. Before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. He enjoyed 2 spells with them. The last time he actually won a trophy, Solskjaer as a manager, was back in 2013 with Molde. And before Molde, he was at Cardiff. And he only enjoyed a short tenure at Cardiff. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he got them relegated. And Ollie managed a Man United reserve team for a couple of years, so he watched some of the team grow and develop. Solskjaer, though, has gained some managerial experience, reflecting now on he's been in charge of Man United, and he's learned quite a bit on the job, but there's still plenty of things Solskjaer's got to learn because he's still a young coach. Solskjaer has been in charge of Manchester United for almost 3 years. He's managed over 150 games as Man United manager in all competitions. I'm surprised Solskjaer is still Man United manager like I've mentioned before, because we've endured very bad periods under Ollie where he's been extremely close to getting sacked. But I think with Solskjaer being a legend of the club, that's what's basically saved his job. And I said to you, didn't I, Solskjaer's decision making has got to improve, because analysing the vast majority of the games he's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive. Progress has been made under Ollie, because he's got us to semi-finals. He got us to 3 semi-finals in his first full season. He got us to the EFL Cup semi-final last season. Last season, he got us to the Europa League final. That was his first major final as Man United manager. And he also got us to the FA Cup quarter-final. Last season, Solskjaer got us a 2nd place finish. And in his first full season, he got us a 3rd place finish. I have got to give Ollie credit though. I've got to say he has done a pretty good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. And I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect, I am shocked. You know, I like the way Solskjaer develops the youth. He's got a lot of trustworthy in his young players. Solskjaer has signed 14 players as Manchester United manager so far, and we've spent like 441 million under the Solskjaer era. Ollie's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in. You know, he's got rid of quite a lot of players permanently, and he's loaned quite a few players out. You know, we've also extended a lot of players' contracts under Ollie. Quite a few weeks ago, Solskjaer did mention that he wants new contracts for 5 players. That's Fernandes, Pogba, Rashford, Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire. But Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. Solskjaer knew he had a lot to do when he came in. You know, when we lose games and that, not all of the blame stems from Solskjaer. Obviously, he's accountable for certain things, but there's obviously certain players that have got to take responsibility, because there's still some players at Man United that are not good enough to represent the club. I have criticised Solskjaer a lot during his managerial tenure at Man United. I've had my reasons behind it, but despite that, I still think he is our best manager since Ferguson. By the way, Solskjaer has revealed that Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw will undergo scans to assess their injuries. Maguire and Luke Shaw both came off injured in the 1-0 defeat to Aston Villa. I'm hoping that their injuries are not too severe, because Maguire and Luke Shaw are two key players. Man United are going to be selling players next year. Well, the other week, he said Solskjaer is willing to sell up to 7 players in January. That includes Anthony Martial and Donny van der Beek. Martial is definitely finished at Manchester United. Man United are ready to sell Anthony Martial. We value Martial at 40 million. Now, Barcelona are considering making a move for him next year. Martial has been a long-term target for Tottenham, and he's open to joining another Premier League club. Last summer, Atletico Madrid went in for Martial. Don't forget, Martial rejected the chance to join Lyon on loan on deadline day. Before the start of this season, it said Solskjaer refuses to sell Martial. Because he remains part of his plans. Martial has been at Man United for like 6 years. He's got 3 years left on his contract. Martial has scored 78 goals in 264 appearances in all competitions. Got 3 years left on his contract. We got Martial in a deal worth 58 million from Monaco back in 2015. Last season, Martial was out with a knee injury for a while. Martial played against West Ham in the Carabao Cup, but obviously he struggled to make an impact. He had a couple of chances, but his finishing was poor, and for the vast majority of the game he looked isolated. Donny van der Beek, he has to go because he's not getting enough game time at Manchester United. Donny van der Beek played no part against Aston Villa in the league, and I've said Solskjaer must start Donny van der Beek in the Premier League. Donny van der Beek obviously played the full 90 minutes against West Ham in the Carabao Cup, put a very good performance out. He also started against Young Boys the other week, but he got taken off at half time, and I heavily criticised Solskjaer for that, because Van der Beek was our best player in the first half of that game. Don't forget, Solskjaer rejected Donny van der Beek's exit because Everton were close to signing him on loan. Don Hutchinson has actually told Donny van der Beek to leave Man United to save his career. And the other week, Paulins said that Donny van der Beek has absolutely no chance of staying at Man United. This season is Van der Beek's second full season at the club. You know, we got Van der Beek in a deal worth 40 million with add-ons included. Van der Beek has got a contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year, I think, and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Jesse Lingard, we could also offload him in January. Lingard didn't play any part against Villa, but obviously he played against West Ham in the Carabao Cup. Put a pretty good performance out, had some good chances. Should have also won a penalty because he got pulled down by Mark Noble in the penalty area, but he was greedy in that game. Lingard obviously came off the bench and scored the winning goal against West Ham in the league, and what a goal that was. Prior to that league game, Solskjaer actually said Lingard will be a Man United player next season because he's red through and through. We're looking to extend his contract. His current contract at Man United expires next year. The other week, Lingard rejected a new Man United contract offer over playing time concerns, despite him being in the last year of his deal. Last season, Lingard enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. Earlier on this season, Solskjaer did confirm that Lingard remains part of his plans. Diego Dalot, good chance he'll leave in January. Dalot is our backup right back to Wan-Bissaka. Dalot obviously played against West Ham in the Carabao Cup, put a very good performance out. Last season, Dalot had a loan spell with AC Milan, so reflecting on that, he gained some experience. We got Dalot 3 years ago. We paid £19 million for him from Porto, and Dalot's got a contract with Man United until 2023. Phil Jones, a good chance he'll leave in January as well. Good chance Tellez will leave and Bailly could leave. And I'm expecting some players to leave Man United at the end of the season. Juan Mata, he'll leave at the end of the season, I think, when his contract expires. Earlier on this year, Juan Mata signed a 1-year contract extension. And Cavani, he'll probably leave at the end of this season unless he leaves in January. I can't say I want Cavani to leave though, because Cavani has made an impact since he's come to Man United. He really, really has. You know. The news on Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo wants to retire at Man United and then coach Cristiano Jr. in the Man United youth team. Well, prior to the game against Villa, Solskjaer believes Ronaldo can keep playing at Man United into his 40s. Ronaldo's done really well since he's re-signed. Obviously, he's scored 4 goals so far. Weren't too good though against Aston Villa yesterday. For the vast majority of the game against Villa, Ronaldo looked isolated. And he had to drop deep quite a few times. Ronaldo's already hinted that he's looking to stay at Man United beyond his current contract. Ronaldo signed a 2-year contract with Man United with an option of a 3rd year. He receives £480,000 a week. So he's the highest earner at Man United. Ronaldo wears the number 7 shirt, and we got Ronaldo for 19.8 million with add-ons included. Next year, I want Manchester United to get a midfielder in. I was disappointed that we didn't sign a midfielder in the summer transfer window. I really, really was. Now, I recently give you the news on Declan Rice. It says Man United abandoned Declan Rice pursuit over West Ham's 90 million valuation. Man United are looking at Declan Rice alternatives. Well, it said earlier on this season that Man United identified Declan Rice as number 1 midfield transfer target for next summer, because it said Rice is likely to leave West Ham next summer as he targets a club offering Champions League football. When the summer transfer window was open, it said Declan Rice was unhappy with West Ham's 100 million price tag. and he's rejected a few contract offers at West Ham. He's got 3 years left on his contract at West Ham. He's been at West Ham for 7 years, or 7.5 years, so he's been a long-serving player. He's predominantly a holding midfielder, but he can also be deployed as a centre-half. Before West Ham, he was at Chelsea. He was in Chelsea's youth setup for several years, but he never got into Chelsea's first team. Paul Pogba, I'm hoping he will sign a new contract at Manchester United. Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next summer. Before the start of this season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract. And he said earlier on this season that Pogba's very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer. Pogba's agent Mino Raiola said the other week that Pogba could return to Juventus for Man United on a free next summer. He did mention that Turin is still in Paul Pogba's heart. Well, Pogba did endure 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United. Well, it's said not so long ago that Juventus have no plans to re-sign Pogba next summer when his contract expires. Real Madrid have been relentlessly linked with Pogba, PSG have been linked to him, and Barcelona want him on a free next summer. Paul Pogba's brother Matthias Pogba came out the other week and said that Paul Pogba is yet to decide on his future, and he said Paul Pogba's contract situation is up in the air. I think if Pogba signs a new contract, he'll earn around £400,000 a week. Pogba's enjoyed a good start to the Premier League season. He's already got 7 assists, and he produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season. He has sustained some injuries at Man United. This season is Pogba's 6th season since he rejoined. Pogba's our most expensive sign at the moment because we paid 89 million and he's won 3 trophies at the club so far. So there you go. As you all know, Ed Woodward is leaving Manchester United. It got announced he was leaving back in April when that European Super League came into the equation. You know, Woodward has been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time because he was accountable for how poor our recruitment was, plus we've overpaid for players in recent years. But despite that, you know, Woodward has said several times before that he'd back Solskjaer, and he assured that Solskjaer's job was safe even when we was enduring them bad periods. You know, Woodward has had a 16-year association with the club. On my next video, I will be giving you a preview for the Man United Villarreal game in the Champions League group stage. It's our second game in the group. So join me for that. So anyway guys, that's everything to update for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again soon.